Welcome to the Fantasyfling DFS channel. Take a break from the season-long commitment and join us for all things daily fantasy sports. DraftKings, Daily Drafts, the newest and hottest DFS deals, and all the best ball and DFS content you can handle. All right, let's dive headfirst into this episode.
Welcome. This is Brandon, AKA Fantasyfling, going to be taking a look at Daily Drafts Weekly Winners for Week 17, do a little quick review, and then going to hop into a live draft with a little bit of Week 18 strategy for the Weekly Winners, the Battle Royales, all of it. And I'm also going to be doing some best ball drafts this next week, as soon as all the seedings are figured out. So just keep a lookout for that. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. So I'm going to go live for that so you don't miss an episode. Hit that notification button, of course. So Morgan Simmons won the top prize last week for the Weekly Winners. So this is something I'm really going to be doing a lot of content for on this channel this offseason. Just seeing, we're going to do each and every week. We're going to get a spreadsheet going. We're going to basically go over what won each and every week so that we can look for trends and we know how to attack this contest moving forward. Because this is basically best ball meets DFS. It's kind of a marriage between the two platforms. So want to see what's winning it. And we can attack this the best way we can by seeing what's working each and every week. So this week 17 was Justin Fields, and guessing maybe had DJ Moore in it. Nope, this was Justin Fields naked. You can do that because Justin Fields does create so much on the ground. He obviously can sling it, but he's like a running back in that regard with a lot of the rushing floor that he brings. So it was Fields, it was Pacheco, it was Jerome Ford, and Breece Hall as well. So, and then at wide receiver, he had CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, and Jaden Reed. So looks like it was Fields plus 3 backs, plus 3 wide receivers, and he had Isaiah Likely with 17 points. So let me see, was there any other secondary stacks in here? Any secondary stacks? KC and Cincinnati. Okay, so it actually was Breece Hall and Jerome Ford. So it did have a secondary stack in it. All right. Well, that was pretty much it. So that was what took down the contest for the weekly winners. Let's look at the week 17 main slate. See what won that. I mean, I won some monies, but I doubled my money. I'll take that. Wasn't first place. Wasn't the 20K, and that's what you're playing for. So Lamar Jackson, yeah. Kind of surprising, right, that Lamar Jackson wasn't the top for the weekly winners, but the rest of the lineup was great. So this was Lamar Jackson, 2 Isaiah Likely, and then had Kyron Williams and Travis Etienne. So 29 points, 24 points. Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Adams were the 2 receivers. So 159 points, really good stuff. Let's see what second and third place did. So another Lamar Jackson, Kyron Williams, Travis Etienne, Ayuk. This one had DJ Moore and Isaiah Likely. So 154 points. So about 5 points behind. And then, yeah, it was a fraction of a point between second and third place. I'm guessing more Lamar, Kyron, Etienne. This one had Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin. So, and Isaiah Likely was the tight end. So, the difference was really just the wide receivers, Godwin versus DJ Moore in this lineup. That was the difference. So, good stuff. I mean, anytime you could win thousands of dollars, you are certainly happy. So we're going to look at the main slate. I'm going to try to do a little Battle Royale draft. This is the large field GPP. Only one more person, then we can get going here. But kind of going to go through my plays that I like, both at, quarterback, at running back, at wide receiver, at tight end. So this is really a week of just trying to target players who have something to play for. So we have, it looks like I'm picking last. I'm picking at the turn. So really got to strategize in this draft. But so, start with the quarterbacks. We want to target teams that obviously are going to have a lot to play for. Dallas, that they're playing for the number 2 seed. They need to win this game. Teams like Minnesota, they need to win to have a chance at the playoffs. Detroit can improve their seeding to the number 2 spot, but they need so they're expected to play their starters. We don't know how long, because they would need Dallas to lose to Washington, and that's just probably not going to happen. But the good news is they play before Dallas. So, they're going to play and hope for some help. But honestly, they're a really good team. So I think that at some point they could pull their starters. That's something you have to keep in mind for these kind of slates. We have Atlanta and New Orleans. They both need to win, so they could both be in play. Players from both sides, Bijan Robinson, Chris Olave. So something to keep in mind. We're looking for teams that have something to play for. All right, so the first pick of the draft was Rachaad White. I like him. I wouldn't take him first overall, but hey, if you want him and there's a lot of picks between you and the rest of the board, and when it comes back around to you, totally understand taking him there. Sometimes you have to reach when you're picking on ends, which I might have to do here. So CeeDee Lamb went. Now, obviously, would have loved to have stacked Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, but that just wasn't going to happen. You had to kind of pick one of those. So Justin Jefferson, then Jalen Hurts went. So for me, I'm going to take Justin Fields and DJ Moore here, because again, you're going to have to reach a little bit. And I would have liked to have waited just a little bit on my quarterback, but I think getting the stack in this spot is quite important. So DJ Moore, Justin Fields, and now that we've talked about Justin Fields, going to go to the guy that I actually really like this week, and that is Justin Fields. Now, Chicago is one of those teams where they aren't in it, but they still are playing to win. So what you don't want to target is a team specifically that has really nothing to play for, and they could pull their starters, even though they're not going to play, right? Like Detroit, they could pull their starters at any point. So I'm not going to be heavily invested in Detroit. But a team like Chicago, they have nothing to play for, but they're still trying to win. Fields is still trying to solidify the fact that he should be the quarterback there, and they should trade the first overall pick. So I like Fields this week. I love DJ Moore with him. He's just been on a great run. He's 43% target share last week. So that was a stack I decided to attack. Jalen Hurts is a guy he can play. They have something to play for. I thought about doing A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts if they were available, but Jalen Hurts went a pick before me, so I decided to go to DJ Moore and Justin Fields, but they do have something to play for. So after me, obviously, we have James Conner, Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Mike Evans, Trey McBride, DK Metcalf. So, starting to see how the board's falling. And there's some running backs that are falling to me, and I like it. So we'll see what is here when I pick. Devontae Adams went. It's my pick again. Breece Hall just went. I like Travis Etienne this week. This is a game they really need to win. And Tennessee is not the same run defense that they were before. And he does a good amount of damage through the air as well. So I like Etienne here. I get to go back to back. I'm going to take Chris Olave because, again, that is a game that they need to win. And I expect Chris Olave to be heavily targeted in this one. Chris Olave is a guy on the season. He's over 1,000 yards. He's getting a lot of targets. He's got 135 targets on the season. And anytime, and he's missed some games. So anytime Chris Olave is healthy, he's going to be a big part of the offense. So I like that pick. After, obviously, we saw Saquon go off the board. We saw Breece Hall go off the board. And then Goddard, Kenneth Walker was a guy that I was considering taking as well. He's got a good matchup this week. Ingram, Sam Laporta, Aaron Jones. Let's see how my team's looking here. So I got Fields, I got Travis Etienne, I got DJ Moore, and Chris Olave, and I have to take a tight end. I got 2 more picks. So I have to take a flex and a tight end. There's a lot of really good guys left. I'm quite shocked. I was expecting to take Zamir White, but I might take Bijan. And a tight end. So we'll see. I got Tony Pollard, Bijan, or Zamir White to choose from. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to DFS Armies projections, and I'm going to see who projects the highest out of these guys. It looks like Zamir White is going to be that guy. I'm going to take him. By the way, DFS Army, if you're playing DFS Army should be a huge part of it. And you could use code FANTASYFLING for 10% off a VIP subscription. This gives you access, and I like Jake Ferguson in this spot going against Dallas. So this gives you access to projections, cheat sheets, the coaches' notes, the chalkboard. You can see who the field is on. So tons of different analysis in all sports with NASCAR, MLB, NBA, NHL, all sports, even PGA. So I'm actually staff there, and I do NFL content and soon to be spring football content. So, you have a lot of different coaches covering a lot of different sports. Again, you can use code FANTASYFLING for that 10% off a VIP subscription. So we're going to look at my team here that finished up with Justin Fields, Travis Etienne, Zamir White, DJ Moore, Chris Olave, Jake Ferguson. So ended up taking 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. And I took Ferguson. The reason I took Ferguson is Dallas is just such heavy favorites in that. And I feel like most of the field is going to be on CeeDee Lamb. Well, what if the touchdowns go elsewhere? So, that's a leverage play that I like in a high scoring game. So yeah, that was the pick for me. Just going to kind of run through real quick some of the other positions that I really like and wrap this thing up for y'all. So at running back, some of the guys that you can target late are going to be like Jordan Mason, Zamir White, as you just saw, Ronnie Rivers. Jordan Mason is expected to get the start with both Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell being out, or Elijah Mitchell just not playing the full game. So Jordan Mason is a guy that is going very late, and you can get him late, and he's going to get the full workload. That's what the projection is. Ronnie Rivers, same thing. Kyron Williams is out, so he's a guy you can get late. I like the matchup of Tony Pollard and Zamir White this week, and people are kind of sleeping on Zamir White in this underdog lobby because for some reason or another, maybe they didn't get the news that Jacobs isn't going to play, and he's going against Denver's run defense is worse on this slate. So those are guys that I like. Rashad White and Travis Etienne would probably be some of my higher picks for as far as ceiling goes on this slate. And then I like Bijan as well. I was very much considered taking him, but I just kind of leaned on the projections because Zamir White's not going to be in a timeshare. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb has something to play for. Dallas is the number 2 seed. Minnesota, Justin Jefferson. They have a chance at the playoffs with a win and some help. A guy that you can potentially get late. Now, it is a gamble. If you're doing this Sunday morning, that's probably best. Christian Kirk DJ Moore, obviously with Fields, I like him. Olave is a guy that I am looking to target. DK Metcalf, Seattle needs to win that game. So DK Metcalf's a guy you can get, and you could stack him with Geno late if you kind of want to load up on some studs. Jamar Chase, I think you could play him. They have nothing to play for, but still he could come out and have a big game because he is Jamar Chase, and it's a pretty decent matchup against a Cleveland team that's playing backups. And then some value guys that you can look to target late. Jaden Reed, if he plays, he's a great play going against Chicago. That is much better being attacked on the through the air than on the ground. So I think that's a guy you can certainly target. And then some of the value guys, Christian Kirk, obviously, if he does play, everyone's kind of sleeping on him at the moment. Ronnie Bell and Chris Conley are guys that are going to be thrusted into starter roles because Ayuk and Debo are expected to sit. So, that's probably going to wrap it up. I know it's a short one this week, but got a lot more content coming your way. I'm excited for this offseason. Going to do a lot of best ball content. We're going to start it this next week as we look at the playoffs. And then obviously we're going to continue content on this channel for both DraftKings, a little bit of FanDuel for the playoffs, DFS, typical contests on DraftKings, and obviously on Underdog as well. So we're going to continue these drafts, Underdog and drafters as well. So that's going to do it. And by the way, if you guys haven't played Underdog before, you want to try it out, you can use code FantasyFootballFling. That will give you a deposit match, 100% deposit match up to $100. So check it out. These daily drafts are really fun this time of year. When you don't have your season-long leagues, and you can really focus on them. So best of luck this week. We will see you all later.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. You don't want to miss what's coming next.